The first thing that we are going to make in making Darth Maul's double-bladed lightsaber is making the emitter fin section for his lightsaber. Now this is probably the most tedious part of the project because we're going to have to cut, trim, and form 20 emitter fins. Here is a blueprint here of Darth Maul's emitter section here, and this black section here that I have colored in here, this is one of the fins that we are going to have to make. So take out a pair of scissors and cut out this fin. Once that fin has been cut out, trace it onto a piece of cardboard. Now the cardboard piece that I've been using here is from the packaging of a single handle Moen repair kit. Now this repair kit I've used before on my Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber project, and I saved the packaging, for stuff like this. And the reason why I'm using cardboard is because it's not too thick and it's not too thin and will not break as easily as paper. As you can tell already, I have already cut out my fin here using a razor knife. Take your cardboard cutout with a black marker and go to your 2x12 by 1/8 inch aluminum sheet, and you're going to trace out 20 of your emitter fins. Now to properly cut these out, take your Dremel tool with a reinforced cutoff wheel, and your actual emitter fin sits right on the inside of your black marker here. So to cut this out, take your cutoff wheel, you're going to cut across just above the black line. You're going to trim and form this rounded edge over here. We're going to cut down in front of the fin. You're going to cut across right underneath the dimple here as well. Now, to actually get underneath here of your emitter fin, take your cutoff wheel and you're going to make a bunch of upward cuts right up to the black marker here. And then you're going to take the wheel and then you're going to form it out just like this here. Do the same for the other side here too. And once you have the fin all cut out, take your Dremel tool with a sanding drum and you're going to deburr and smoothen out your top edge over here. And if you can, try and deburr and smoothen out the bottom here as well too. Now I have all my fins cut out of the aluminum sheet. The fins I have right now are just rough cuts, and they're going to start to look like this. However, trimming will still be needed to trim underneath of our fin here to fit onto our lightsaber. So as a rough cut here, we're going to put it to a side. Also remember, when you are cutting out your fins from the aluminum sheet, it is best that you will want to use a pair of pliers to hold onto the aluminum sheet, because obviously the metal will get hot when you are cutting with your Dremel tool. So your gloves aren't going to protect you as much, so use a pair of pliers. There are several ways in trimming down the bottom of your aluminum fin here for your lightsaber, because these parts here have to fit onto the lightsaber itself. You can use a pair of pliers to hold it down, but the two bad parts is, one, that the teeth on the pliers is going to leave little teeth marks on your fin. You don't want that. And two, when you start cutting, this could actually start walking. So the one setup that I have used is I have used a 2x4, a small plastic hobby clamp, and the leftover aluminum chunks here I've used these guys as heat sinks. Now when trimming aluminum, obviously you are going to get heat, and underneath of my aluminum pieces here I have one of the aluminum fins. So the fin here, I'm going to take my Dremel tool, and being that this is held in place here really good, I'm going to take the wheel and I'm going to just start forming out the bottom of this up to my black line. Now what's good about this is that any kind of heat that's going to get transferred is going to get transferred to these bigger plates, but it's going to take a while to heat these up. Now if you were to take this clamp and place it directly onto your aluminum fin, the plastic on this clamp is going to melt, and you don't want that. And as you can see by this little notch here in my clamp, I've done that before, so this guy already started to melt. So use these aluminum pieces here as heat sinks. And here is a finished emitter fin here for Darth Maul's lightsaber. Now this emitter fin is going to serve as a basis here on how to make your emitter section on your lightsaber. So there's actually a few pieces you'll have to take to the machine shop with you so you can actually form your emitter end. So the few pieces you are going to need to take with you is, one, your finished emitter fin, your 1.375 inch aluminum tube, your 1 inch PVC pipes, and if you want to, but you don't have to, your 3/4 inch PVC pipe. This piece here is actually 6 inches long, and this 3/4 inch pipe will have to fit inside of your 1 inch PVC pipe. Now if yours is kind of snug, you could actually just take some sandpaper and just sand it down so that'll fit in nicely. Again, you don't have to take that to the machinist. So what you're going to do is ask your machinist to cut down the 1-inch PVC pipe to fit inside of your 1.375-inch aluminum tube here. As you can see, it went in quite nicely here. Now if you notice here at the end of the PVC pipe that this section here has a machine groove and that it is tapered here. And this taper section is just like Darth Maul's lightsaber. So on where to begin this taper section here, you measure 1 5/16 up from this edge here up to here, and then this is where you're going to start tapering down your PVC pipe. I left a 1/16 inch wall here on this end so that the PVC end here will stay strong. And as if we see here, I take my finished emitter fin and I kind of set that right in place. You know, this is how the emitter fin is going to sit right on your PVC pipe. And if so here, take my 3/4 inch PVC pipe here, just kind of sticking there temporarily. You can see that the edge here of this fin is going to sit right on the 3/4 inch PVC pipe. So there is a gapping here, you know, it's a little goof. I mean, I could probably fix this up or I can make another one. You know, it's no big deal. But for now, this kind of gives you an idea on how the lightsaber is going to, you know, be assembled. Okay, now there are several ways in how you can make your lightsaber here, but especially with your 1-inch PVC pipe here, you know, this measurement is critical. For me, I actually had machine grooves placed here on my 1-inch PVC pipe so that I can thread together my coupling piece in the middle, and I can also thread together here my other end of the lightsaber as well too. This will give a nice sturdy, you know, PVC lightsaber here. I mean, again, you don't have to do this here, but the measurements for the PVC pipes are going to be as followed. Both ends of Darth Maul's lightsaber here are going to be 8 1/4 inches from end to end. Your middle coupler here, just the exposed PVC part here, not the threaded portions, is going to be 1 1/4 inches wide. And also, if you want to, you can have the machinist make you a couple caps, you know, with threads on if you want. So therefore, you can have 2 single sabers, you know, in both hands. So the threads here on my PVC sections here are as goes. My male threads here are going to be a 1/2 inch long, and the female threads for inside of the main body of the lightsaber is going to be a 1/2 inch deep too. This will ensure a nice tight lightsaber. Threading your PVC pipes here can be an option, but you can also use 3/4 inch PVC pipe here as your couplers to couple your both ends of the lightsaber together. Now that your PVC pipe is finally machined and your emitter fin is finally completed, we're now going to start making body tubes. The 2 tubes I'm using here is my 1.375 inch with a 0.035 inch wall aluminum tube and an 1.5 inch with a 0.095 inch wall here aluminum tube. Now you can see that the both tubes here have varying thicknesses, and each tube here will have a certain purpose. So the first thing that we're going to do here is find a nice flat area or flat end here on your aluminum tubes. In case if you can't, go to your belt disc sander and sand down one of those ends for a nice smooth finish. Once you have a nice smooth surface here, this is good. This is going to be the area that you are going to be mainly working off of. So the first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to take our 1.375 inch aluminum tube here, and you're going to make a line going down the length of the tube here with a marker. Now, you probably don't have one of these rulers at home, but you could probably go to Radio Shack or a drafting supply store, and the ruler that I'm using here actually has 30 seconds and 64ths markings on here. So this is actually pretty detailed and fairly accurate, so I'm going to use this ruler, and also on the back of it, you really don't need it, it has decimal equivalents. So I'm going to use this ruler here. To first start off, on your 1.375 aluminum tube here, you're going to make 4 body tubes at 1 3/4 inches long. And you're going to make 4 more body tube rings at 14/32 inches long. On your 1.5 inch aluminum tube, you're going to make 2 body tubes at 22/32 inch long, and 2 body tubes at 18/32 inches long. So you can make the measurements slightly longer because you are going to be cutting these aluminum tubes out, and you're going to need to sand down your body tube and your aluminum tube so that you have nice clean ends here. To make a nice smooth cut around your aluminum tube, first make a mark on your aluminum tube with a measurement. Once you have that, take a piece of paper and wrap it around your aluminum tube. Use a piece of tape to keep the paper in place, and then with your Dremel tool, just cut off your aluminum tube section to make a body tube. Once it's cut, then sand down your body tube, deeper the edges,